Hello, namaste to everyone. Before going to the subject, I will say something about my videos. I make short notes for geography, economy, history, polity, and science of NCERT from class 6 to 12 standard. Now I begin geography. I already make short notes or key points, no need to explain elaborately, and no need to go for the NCERT books for separate reading. These books are very lengthy and too much, so the duration time should be taken, no, for that's why I make short notes for you. Just listen once or for you important and make some important points. That's your interest. Now I will go for the content before denying the time. So before denying, so now let's start chapter 3rd or unit 3rd in geography 8th standard, minerals and power resources. Nothing is important here, just basic concepts can understand. The minerals are naturally occurring substances that have a definite chemical composition. Minerals are formed in different types of the geological environments under very varying conditions. Minerals can be identified on the basis of the on what basis we can identify the minerals of their physical properties such as color, density, hardness, and chemical properties such as solubility. Types of the minerals. On the basis of the composition, the minerals can be divided into metallic and non-metallic types. This is the basic concepts everyone knows. Just I will read it. Metallic minerals. Here there is no need to elaborately explain. Just in standard books. Then after reading the NCERTs once, then we'll explain detailed explanation. I will give in the standard books, for example, particular books for the particular subject. In polity, Lakshmikant books, economy, Ramesh Singh books. Later I will make that videos also. So now metallic minerals contain metals in the raw form. Normally metals are hard substances that conduct the heat and electricity and have luster or shine. For example, iron ore and the bauxite. Metallic minerals are of the two types, ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous contains the iron ore, manganese and chromides. Non-ferrous minerals do not contain iron but may contain some other metals like gold, silver, copper or lead. Non-metallic minerals do not contain the metals. Already metals contains, this is a basic concept. The difference, for example, limestone, that is a sedimentary rock, mica, gypsum, coal and petroleum. Mining, drilling, quarrying are the three extraction methods of the minerals. You can remember mining, drilling and quarrying, the three extraction methods of the minerals. Mining is the process of taking out of minerals from the rocks buried under the earth's surface. That's the mining. The process of mining includes two methods. There is a open cast mining and shaft mining. Normally in some iron minerals should be in open cast mining. Normally in Karnataka, Kuduremukha and Ballari, some areas. So don't go for the open cast mining. That's dangerous for the environment degradation. Deep wells are bored to take minerals out, and this process is called the drilling. Normally we can go for the drilling process. For example, shale gas. There's a recently in the news, shale gas. There's the largest producer in the world, that's USA, but largest reserve is China. Shale gas is the mainly in India. They are identified some basins. There's shale gas productions. They are identified. Cambay in Gujarat, KG Basin in Krishna and Godavari region in Andhra Pradesh, Kaveri region in Tamil Nadu, Damodara Valley in West Bengal, Upper Assam in Assam and Pranayata and Godavari in Maharashtra and some Andhra Pradesh region and Rajasthan and some Vindhyan basins. This is the mainly in this in ONGC that started mainly first shale gas drilling in West Bengal. In the process of the quarrying, normally in gold mines will be there, no? That is the quarrying. Minerals that lie near the surface are simply dug out. Minerals are found in the igneous rock, metamorphic rocks, sedimentary rocks. We have discussed these three types of the rocks in the previous classes. Now, no need to explain. So, iron ore, nickel, copper minerals are found in the igneous and metamorphic rocks. But limestone and sandstone, they are found in the sedimentary rocks. Normally, shale gas is also found in the sedimentary rocks. Uses of the minerals are generally used very hard, are used as gems for making jewelry. Copper is used for the coins and pipes, and silicon is also used for the coins, and silicon is used for the computer industry and automobile industry. Aluminum is used in the automobile, airplanes, bottling industry, building and kitchen cookware, because the aluminum is very weightless, so there's a reason should be used in the aeroplanes. Conservation of the minerals. Minerals are non-renewable resources. Generally are non-renewable resources. It is necessary to reduce the wastage in the process of mining, because that's not the renewable, no. So recycling of the metals, that's a way to conserve the mineral resources. That's the only way to conserve the mineral resources. Recycling process. Then the power resources, mainly the conventional resources and non-conventional resources. We need power resources for industry, agriculture, transport, communication, defense, etc. Conventional sources of the minerals. The energy resources which have been in common use for a long time are known as a conventional sources. Firewood and fossil fuels are the mainly two types of the conventional energy resources. Fossil fuels are petroleum, diesel, for example, etc. They cannot renewable. Non-conventional sources of the minerals are, they are renewable, so we can use for long time. Is also solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, etc. or non-conventional sources of the energy. This is the third unit in the standard geography. Now let's go for the fourth unit. Fourth and eighth standard geography, agriculture. Economic activities are three types: primary, secondary, and tertiary activities. Primary activities are those activities which are connected with the extraction and production of the natural resources, for example, agriculture, fishing. Secondary activities are concerned with the processing of the natural resources to manufacture the products, like baking of bread, weaving of the cloth, like mining, etc. And tertiary activities provide services like transport, trade, banking, insurance, advertising, etc. Agriculture is a primary activity which include growing the crops, fruits, vegetables, flowers, rearing of the livestock. In the average of the world, the 50 percentage of persons in the world are engaged in the agricultural activity. But in India, two-thirds of the India's population is still dependent on the agriculture. But now is approximately 60 percentage, not two-third population still dependent on the agriculture, because tertiary sector has already improved. Favorable topography of the soil and climate are vital for the agricultural activity. The land on which the crops are grown is known as a arable land. Farm systems. Agriculture or farming is a system in which seeds, fertilizers, machinery, and labor are important inputs. Flowing, sowing, irrigation, weeding, and harvesting are some of the operations in the farming. The outputs from the system includes crops, dairy, wool, and poultry products. Type of the farming. Mainly the farming depends on the geographical conditions, demand of the produce, and labor and level of the technology. In India, mainly subsistence farming and the commercial farming are the two types of the farming. The subsistence farming is a practices to meet the needs of the farmer's family only. Nothing should be the surplus, just needs the family. need. Intensive subsistence agriculture. In this farming, the farmer cultivates a small part of the land using a simple tools and more labor. This the rice is the main crop. This is a staple food of the India. The other crops include the wheat, maize, pulses and oilseeds. But in India, majority the intensive subsistence agriculture should be there because the population density is more, land is very less. Repeated cultivation on the same land and is also depending upon the more labor. Primitive subsistence agriculture. Primitive subsistence agriculture includes shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. Shifting cultivation, for after the cultivation, the soil is abandoned and the cultivator moves to a new flat. Shifting cultivation is also known as a slash and burn cultivation. Mainly shifting cultivation, government is discourages the shifting cultivation and promote sedentary agriculture because the people are cut it the trees and burn it, then started the agriculture, then migrated to some duration they will do the agriculture there, then shifted there and migrated the other places, then started the same process. So we lost the forest. Mainly they are doing in northeastern region, the tribal people of the northeastern region and western ghats they will do. So government because of that only promote the sedentary agriculture and some plantation crops. Primitive shifting cultivation, then nomadic herding. Then nomadic herding is for so many disadvantages are there for the shifting cultivation like slash and burn agriculture, Hoi, Harpadu or Jumming agriculture. Disadvantages are deforestation, loss of the biodiversity and man-animal conflict should be increases, timber losses mainly in northeastern, then trees should be lost, then increases the CO2 that causes the emissions, increases the greenhouse gases, then the melting of the glaciers should be the increases, soil erosion and loss of the fertility of the topsoil should be the increases. So because on that government should promote the sedentary agriculture and it should create the awareness among the people. Nomadic herding. In nomadic herding, herdsmen move from the place to place with their animals for fodder and water along defined routes. The people they are nomadic, they are sheep, they are migrated, then carry the along with the sheep, hack and goats or the herding the animals. They will carry the things. Commercial farming. In commercial farming, crops are grown and animals are reared for the sale in the market. Normally, for example, commercial crops are the tea, coffee, sugar cane, and cashew, some plantations, rubber, etc. Commercial grain farming. In commercial grain farming, crops like wheat, maize are grown for the commercial purpose. This farming is practiced in the temperate grasslands of the North America, like Pirates in North America and Panna in South America, like Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina, then Europe, uh, and Asia is also fixed mixed farming. There is a farming it should be followed in India because the density of population is more in India, approximately 130 crores. So they are farming agriculture along with the animal rearing they followed. The land is used for growing the food and fodder crops should be used for the rearing the livestock. Plantations are type of the commercial farming where the single crop of the tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, banana, or cotton are grown. Normally in Peninsular Plateau, cotton should be grown. That's the Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and some patches of the Madhya Pradesh and Telangana, Andhra. So like that, the plantation in Karnataka is a coffee is very famous, and some equatorial regions is also Malaysia is used for the rubber farming and Indonesia oil farm. And tea should be the grown in the Assam and West Bengal regions. Major crops, a variety of the crops or many crops are grown to meet the requirement of the growing the population. Major crops of the India they are rice, wheat, millets, maize, cotton, jute, coffee and tea. Rice is the staple crop of the South India, but wheat is the staple crop of the North India. Agricultural development. Agricultural development refers to efforts made to increase the farm production in order to meet the growing the demand of the increasing the population. A farm in India, typical, that is not the need. Normally a farm in USA, the average size of the farm is USA is about 250 hectares, but in India is less than 1 hectares. That's the average. The normally in USA the farmers grow the corn, soybean, wheat, cotton, sugar beet, etc. So that's all today's class. So let's see in the next class. Thank you so much for listening my class. Thank you so much.